Hey guys, Patrick Donovan, eXp Realty, part of the Johnson Group here in beautiful Port Wentworth, Georgia. I'm here with my buddy Brandon Giebler. What's up, buddy? From Next Move. How are you doing?
Living the dream, baby, in Pooler, not Port Wentworth, but it's cool. It's cool. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah, Pooler's doing all right. They got their own parking and traffic and flooding issues that we'll talk about sometime, but not this time.
Whoa.
I'm going to tell you, got a great show on board for you today. First, we're going to be talking about the Port Wentworth housing stats, September versus September. Then we're going to be talking about the warehouse that's going up across the street from Rice Hope, adjacent to Rice Creek. Talk about the flooding impacts and all that kind of stuff. And then finally, we have a special guest tonight, Brandon.
Ooh, who might that be?
That is Tracy Saunders. She's a mayoral candidate for the Port Wentworth community. So M Daddy says, let's go.
Whoa.
M Daddy, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it, buddy. I like this new feature. I can see you guys in the right corner, so I don't even need to pull that up anymore. Fantastic. But thank you all for joining tonight. If you have any questions for Tracy Saunders, the mayoral candidate for our area, please save it for when she gets on here. She'd love to answer your questions. So are you ready for tonight, buddy?
I'm ready. Hey, Megan. Thanks for coming, girl.
Hey, Megan. Whoop, whoop.
I love her.
All right, great. Thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. Hey, y'all. It's
hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for the view tonight. Like I said, save your questions for Tracy towards the end. If you have any other comments, please comment. We love it. And let's get into it.
All right.
Oh, she's ready. She's always support y'all. Thank you. We always love your support, Megan. And hello, y'all. Man, I love you guys. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. You ready, Brandon?
I'm ready.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'm ready, Coach. Put me in. So we're going to start with the numbers, obviously. Let's go ahead and get those out of the way because they're important. So we're going to go over the Port Wentworth stats, and we'll start with the new listings. It's at 5%, y'all. 5% with 23 new listings. This is year over year, keep in mind. Year over year, 23. Perfect. So homes for sale is down 11% at 108. And then we have closed sales, obviously up 7%. We got 29 closed sales. What? And the days on market is down 16%, that's a good thing if you're a seller. We're at 42 days. And our months of inventory are down 36.4% at 3.5. Ooh, that could be good. So the median sales price is up 11%. So we're at $327,190 approximately. And then our price per square foot is only up 2% from $190 to $193. Whoa.
Well, Megan says she loves that closed sales are higher. Thank goodness. She's a real estate agent.
Yeah. So
obviously.
So Patrick, Megan, like anybody who knows real estate, like what do you think these numbers are telling us?
Ooh, I'm really curious what Megan's going to say, but I will say, we're getting towards that, that time period where it gets slower. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what I'm starting to see is people taking their homes off the market, expecting to go back on the market in the springtime. And they're thinking, oh, I'm going to catch the good prices then. I don't know. What do you think about that, Brandon? Is that a good idea to take your home off the market and then come back in the spring like everybody else is doing?
I mean, I love a good competition, but I don't think it's a good move. If you're not pristine, photograph, magazine ready kind of thing, I wouldn't say it's a good idea. So right now it might be a little slower to sell your house, but you're not going to compete with the people that are actually taking the time to make it magazine ready. So, I mean, right now we're inventory, stacking on inventory. So I would say you might have better chances now rather than later.
Well, as you can see right now, the homes for sale are down by 11%. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So everybody's pulling off. It might be a good. Here's the thing, and I will just catch up with the comments real quick. So, hello, y'all said in this economy, oof.
Oof.
Megan says, I think it's leveling out finally. At least that's what I'm seeing, hoping. And then, of course, Megan said you had to show your trophy, right? But to be honest with you, what I would try to say is that right now you're in competition with not as many people, right? Everybody has the same idea you have. So they are thinking, okay, I couldn't get the price, the overpriced that, don't get offended. But if your house didn't sell, what does that mean, Brandon?
Your expectations were a little higher than they should have been.
Then the market, right?
Yeah.
It's not me saying that your home is overpriced. It's the market that's saying that your home is overpriced. So taking your overpriced home off the market and then putting your overpriced home back on the market in April is not going to change anything.
No.
Okay. And if you plan on going to the market in April, you need to give me or Brandon a call so we can get you ready to go, because I feel like
you need guidance.
Kind of like an adjustment.
You need Jesus or guidance, one of the two.
Definitely guidance, because like we said before, get your home ready to rock and roll from Jump Street. So you don't want to be the average home with all the other people, right?
Right. Because then they're going to just like hassle you down. So it's not going to be good.
Right. And then hello, y'all. Let's catch up in the comments here. Hello, y'all said overpriced. Offensive in a lot of cases. She oftentimes getting offended. Megan says, not for the same price, but know what the market says and match your expectations. I agree. And hello, y'all says, you need the truth. Megan says, exactly. Love the comments, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Set the expectations with the sellers.
What have I been saying? Set the expectations. The correct expectations. Not correct just a listing. The correct ones.
When you get and M Daddy said set expectations with sellers. Thank you, M Daddy. I appreciate that. And I totally agree. I think from the beginning, you need to understand the price. If you're not willing to listen to your real estate agent, I'm just saying maybe you should try it on your own and see what you get back. I promise you're not going to be happy with the results.
Hey, we don't want to pass by Joshua's comment. It says, love the
go ahead.
He loves the metals.
What metals?
Mine.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm competitive, but I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? I
got you. All right. So those are the stats: September versus September, 2024 versus 2025. The stats for next month actually come out after on our next video. So you definitely want to come back to the next video to see what next month's stats have to say. I'm super excited about it. So here we go. Oh, here we go. Hello, y'all. You want to read this one?
Stop it.
You want to read that one, or you want me to read it?
Listen, folks always think they have the prize-winning pig, when in reality you don't. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean,
all right. So the next part we'll be talking about the warehouses across the street. Now, I just want to kind of give you a little context here. I was at a party in Rice Hope, one of our neighbors, and he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, Pat, did you know that if this warehouse comes to fruition across the street, it's going to put us in a flood zone?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, what?" So he showed me the stuff on Facebook, and I decided to do a little digging myself because I wanted to know the truth, right? Because, I want to see what those developers had to say. So I reached out to SPH 21. I talked to the developer and the engineer, and they talked about the permits and everything they had to go through just to do the warehouse, all the engineering plans, what they plan on doing with Saucy Canal. Like I told you, it was going to get saucy tonight. You didn't know it was going to be Saucy Canal.
I thought it was going to be juicy saucy, but it was saucy like the street and the canal.
Yeah, it's not like a Chick-fil-A sauce, which would be really good. It's Saucy Canal. right, and then we're going to talk about the main flooding issues linked to a lack of maintenance on the canals itself. So, you want to catch up with these comments, Brandon?
I mean, they're talking to each other. Exactly. Set expectations. Listen, folks. A pig's a pig. Facts are facts, baby. I know.
Polynesian sauce is great. By the
Oh
way.
my god, I love Polynesian sauce.
That's a good one. You get the chicken nuggets. That's the one. And by the way, if you didn't know this, McDonald's is coming to Rice Hope here shortly. Not being sponsored by McDonald's, but you can get your Polynesian sauce there. Boom.
You can get Polynesian sauce at McDonald's now?
Isn't that where it comes from?
No, it comes from Chick-fil-A.
I think there's both. I think they both have it. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Chick-fil-A's better, so Chick-fil-A is sponsored.
But Chick-fil-A won't be in Rice Hope, so I mean that's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Oh my god!
I might not have to leave Rice Hope ever if this keeps going this way. You know I love sauces, Megan. I love the sauces. That's for damn sure.
No, you're soft. I'm soft bag.
All right, so now we're going to talk about this warehouse being built, and here's what I want to show you right here. Circled is Rice Hope. Obviously, I live there, so I'm a little bit concentrated on that area, but you can see around the surrounding areas of what's going on. So, Brandon, when you look at this map, and this map is available to all of you if you go to Sages, which is in the description down below in my YouTube page. You can go to Sages. You can find all this information. It gives you everything for Chatham County, all the flood zones and all that stuff. But when you look at this map, Brandon, what is this telling you?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what a flood zone is or what these symbols mean, you see an X and then you see the AE. So X flood zone means you're not in a flood zone, so you don't need flood insurance, which perfect. But if you're in the AE flood zone, if you're getting a loan, they're going to require you to have flood insurance, which is going to be an extra cost to you. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah. Hopefully that little circle right there won't become an AE.
Well, and that's what we're talking about, right? And that's what we're trying to figure out how that's being prevented.
Right. So how it's being prevented is the flood studies and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So they obviously do flood studies to provide that the development that they're trying to go with or trying to develop won't cause a higher water level, the not net rise kind of thing. And then the 404 permit that you have to go through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to get, it's a federal permit that requires when working in or near wetlands or waterways that you get the approval that's verified that the project won't actually negatively affect the surrounding land and water spots. So they go through these steps and processes and regulations that make sure that it doesn't affect you or change, but they're not Mother Nature neither. So like they can do what they can do and with their best wishes and hopes that it's not going to change or affect anything, but they're not Mother Nature at the same time. So it's something to keep in mind. It should ease your stress a little bit, thinking that you're going to become a flood zone, but likely you shouldn't because they have these regulations in process.
I mean, here's the thing. The environment is changing all the time, and I don't know what you believe, what side you're on, and that's really irrelevant. We all see it's happening. The climate is changing. As the water starts to rise, if you don't have flood insurance and you get flooded, guess what happens? Whether you are in a flood zone or not, if you get flooded, who pays for the damage, Brandon?
If what? I'm reading the comment.
If we get flooded and you don't have flood insurance, who pays for that? Yeah, the homeowner. And I'm actually going to be pasting the YouTube video I did on flood insurance into the comments. So if you're looking to understand flood insurance, we unpacked this with Jeff Brady to incredible detail. I want to say it's a 38-minute long video, and I was riveted every second he spoke because I'm telling you, Jeff's on it, bro. He breaks down this flood thing like you wouldn't believe, and it will open your eyes to maybe if you live in Rice Hope, you probably need flood insurance because if this thing goes sideways, then boom, you're gonna be screwed. And flood insurance doesn't automatically come. And I'm talking to you, Megan. You were asking me about the differences, so I'm going to explain it for him. So thank you for asking that question. But there's regular insurance and there's flood insurance. They're two different policies. They're not the same thing. So if you're not in a flood zone like we are, but we flood and you don't have flood insurance, it's on you to fix. And that's exactly what happened to Richmond Hill.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep. I just want to say kudos. I want to say kudos to you. I think did you buy a thesaurus? You're using good words.
Who's that? You're talking about Megan?
You.
Oh, really? I normally have 6 or 7 words that I go to.
That was a good word you used. I like that.
Yeah, and Daddy said they saw it in Richmond Hill. Megan, exactly where they're at. Same kind of thing. It's destructive. And if you don't have it, oh, Megan, you're confusing me now. You know what? I love you, so I don't even care. Say whatever you want. I'm going to just listen to it. I don't care. But, okay, hello, y'all says, climate change is happening more severely, and these studies often have to be updated. And the last time we had a flood study, Brandon, when was the last flood study?
The last flood study?
2018 for our area.
Yeah.
Is when the maps were updated. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, they're going to do their... That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like,
so I mean,
we announced that. It's been a long time. It's so good.
I mean, it's almost a decade. I mean, I'm just saying, and then the stuff is changing all the time. So, but
they put in their 100-year plan. So I guess they just do it every 100 years.
Right. Well, this is kind of what they're trying to achieve right here. Okay. So I know we got off topic with the flooding and all that stuff, but basically this is what it's all about. Okay. All that flooding that you see that they're trying to take care of is trying to get to the Black Creek. All right. Black Creek goes out to the Savannah River. Okay. Now, their approved plans for building that warehouse across the street, they had to prove that they'd have no net rise, okay, on the area, meaning that they're using 20 acres of the land that they have out there to make sure there's flood compensation areas and retention ponds, okay, around the facility. In those retention ponds, they have restrictor valves that won't let all the water out all at once. So, like, it slowly drains it out. They're also widening, and I'm going to jump to this picture real quick, Brandon. There's widening the Saucy Canal by 20 feet, and they're going 7 feet deep. So when you think about this right here, they're trying to make it so where all the water flows out. Now, we're going to be talking about it shortly after this, but there's other complications going on in here. You know what I'm saying?
Gross. This is this is what it currently looks like, thanks to Chatham County, who was supposed to be maintaining it, but obviously the neglect shows. And as a result of all of this, you got clogging, you've got the improper functioning, so this would be considered functionally obsolete, which means there's a depreciation in value due to the outdated design or not upkeeping it so it functions properly. So the creek is supposed to flow into the Black Creek because it's a little bit bigger and it connects. And then it connects into the Savannah River. But then we have blockage thanks to the little cute little things that'll swim around the water, and they build small dams, but they're kind of messing everybody up. So, that's the issue here. But it's supposed to look like the other picture.
This one?
It's supposed to look like that, but sadly it looks like that.
Right. So this is now
positive.
And this is what they're trying to get to. And that's on their side. So this is their side of 21. Okay. So they're trying to make sure that all this flowing on their side so that it flows properly to Black Creek. Now, this is what it's supposed to look like. But here's the thing: they found while they were doing all this flood mitigation, they found there's 3 beaver dams that were blocking up the movement of water. So they had to rehome the beautiful, majestic beavers to a resort style thing for beavers. I think they do pedicures and manicures and all that kind of stuff.
They didn't go in my closet. They didn't go in my closet.
No, they're at a beaver spa. I think it's a beaver spa somewhere else. But I'm not sure what they do with the beavers. Hello, y'all. Okay, I'm assuming it's a spa, but I couldn't believe that beavers are the problem. What is 1% beaver?
The 1%. The 1% of beavers that are here in that spa is what she's saying.
Right. So the 10 and 12 beavers they had to remove and put them in a cool beaver retirement home. They removed them, and then they found that this same person, the beaver specialist. Now, how do you get named the beaver specialist, Brandon?
You like mink coats, or you like to save the beavers?
Yeah, that's probably saving beavers over there. Just good at saving beavers. So the beaver specialist, they sent him the HOA president for Rice Hope asked them to look down from our area in Rice Hope down to 95 to make sure that there's no blockages. What they found was there's 2 beaver dams on the way down to that area, which is blocking all the water flow out. So all the residents and business owners in this area need to kind of pitch in to help the beaver flow go down. Okay?
So put on your wetsuit and go break down the dams and take a beaver home. Adopt a beaver.
Adopt a beaver. Absolutely. That's the new campaign. Renegade rescue for beavers.
Adopt a beaver. That's a good one. That's a good slogan. I love that. So to wrap all this up, so this land project started back in 2019. And since then, the team has worked through all of the environmental and engineering approvals and studies to make sure that it doesn't cause flooding. You're welcome. So they've rebuilt and expanded the Saucy Canal to meet the modern standards, creating new flood control ponds that have been dealing with the beaver dams that keep blocking the water flow. So again, go adopt a beaver if you want one. So the flow should flow like it should flow into the beaver dam. No, we are not adopting a beaver. So they're essentially trying to repair.
Hashtag adopt a beaver. I love it.
Yeah, stop. We're not doing it anymore. So essentially, what we're seeing is like the old neglected system is now turning into like, let's go ahead and fix this thing so that our homeowners and our community doesn't flood. So keep that in mind. It's positive. We're going to be positive about it until you flood. Then I'm sorry. That shouldn't happen.
Well, you should go get flood insurance. I see you watched it. So,
right. If you flood, shame on you that you didn't go break down a dam and adopt a beaver.
You should. Daddy has some beaver experience, so go apply to be a beaver specialist. Okay, y'all said, or hello, y'all said, this is what happens when you overdevelop without a damn clue about conservation. I don't know if that was a pun or damn, but you're right. And
if it wasn't, now it is.
You know what, Josh? All you have to do is tell Brandon's mom to buy a beaver and give it to him. Then of course you guys will have a beaver.
No.
Where's the Sarah McLachlan for the beavers? What is happening right now? The beaver thing is getting out of control.
They're so cute.
Oh, you're talking about the sad faces and stuff? In the arms of an angel. Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, that's what's going on with the warehouse across the street from me and adjacent to Rice Creek. But now I want to bring a special guest on. She's mayoral candidate for Rice, or not Rice Hope, for Port Wentworth, Tracy Saunders. I saw her at the Rice Hope Trunk or Treat. She's asked if she could be on the show, so I brought her on, and I'm happy to have her. So let's bring on Tracy. So Tracy, how you doing?
I am great. And can I just say that I'm impressed with the maturity that y'all showed through the last 10 minutes of your show. That was some great self-restraint.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody loves the beavers here, as you can widely tell.
They're so cute. They're so cute.
I mean, if you're going to invest in a spa, I guess a beaver spa would be the way to go.
Beaver spa. I can't even imagine how much money is in the beaver spa. I wonder.
Had a puppy. Had a beaver. 2026.
All right. So, Tracy, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's an honor seeing you again at the Rice Hope Trunk or Treat, which was awesome. Did you get a chance to go through the haunted house?
I didn't. I wish I could have, but I had to get home afterwards. So, but yeah, I saw the line. I couldn't believe the number of people that were waiting to go. That's really impressive.
It's like an hour wait. It was nuts, and it was worth it. I mean, I'll tell you what, D.R. Horton did a great job.
Even better.
I walked through it in the daylight and I still jumped, so I wasn't going. I'm not doing it. I'm tired of being the laughing stock of all the haunted houses. I'm not doing it. They just laugh at me.
It's okay.
All right. Now is your opportunity if you want to talk to the mayoral candidate for Port Wentworth. Bring your questions in. But I'm going to start out off. Tracy, you are a teacher. Is that correct?
I am. I've been teaching for 27 years in Chatham County, and I am currently an alternative middle school teacher. So I teach the kids that don't do well in regular school.
Okay. And what got you into mayoral candidacy? What made you decide to run for mayor in Port Wentworth?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
Whatever version you want to give us.
So the short version is that Artlisa Alston Cohn is my neighbor. She is an at-large city council member, and she is running to retain her seat on city council. And about a year and a half ago, she started the Citizens Input Council and asked me to be a part of it. And basically what the plan of the Citizen Input Council is that we picked a problem and we attack it from start to finish until we get to a solution and implement the solution. And I thought that was a fantastic thing for a government entity to do, because a lot of times you just don't see that happen. So I got involved, and I met all of the city council members, and I met some great people in the community. And in that process, I realized that I could put my fascination with politics to work, because the things that I've been doing in my classroom for 27 years really do apply in the real world.
Really?
You know, people management, paperwork management, being able to lead a discussion, being able to redirect people when they go off on tangents, that kind of thing. And it was fun, and I enjoyed it. And I don't know what that is, but okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I can do that too. So basically, Artlisa suggested that maybe I should consider running for mayor. And at the time, I told her absolutely not. That my life was busy enough, that I had enough going on, and that it just wasn't a good thing to consider at the time. And then about 6 months ago, she mentioned it again. And this time I told my husband about it and was like, hey, Artlisa says I should run for mayor. And he just looked at me and said, well, do you want to? And I said, it would be awesome. But I mean, our life right now is just not in a place where it would be an easy thing to do. And he just flat looked at me and said, you know what? You have given up enough of your dreams over our lifetime. You need to do this. And when the man that you've been with for 32 years tells you to go for it, you go for it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And it has been the hardest, best thing I have ever done, besides, you know, family and parenting and stuff. It's been a huge learning experience. It's been great meeting people. It's been a big challenge. And I've really enjoyed it. I know I'm probably not supposed to say that, but it's kind of fun. Um, I like talking to people. I like meeting people. I like solving problems, and all of those things are part of what being a mayor does. So here we are.
Well, Megan,
7 days to the election.
Megan said,
7 days.
love that. Definitely a teacher. Definitely a teacher is a huge responsibility, and changing to mayor is truthfully a bigger classroom. If you can teach these, I have all the respect for you.
Aw, thank you, Megan. I appreciate it. I love what I do, and I love the fact that I have this chance to take it to a different audience, I guess.
Right. And here we are. There you go.
Here we are.
So I've seen on your website you've mentioned about converting city-owned land into food-producing green space. How do you see that tying into local housing, neighborhood values, and attracting new residents?
Well, the first thing is that people want options. They want things to do. And there are lots of people who love to garden who live in neighborhoods like mine that frown on putting in a garden without talking to the HOA. And I know this personally because I put in a garden and I got in trouble with the HOA. Now, I will absolutely say that if we get this garden space put together, you don't want me touching your plants, because I proved I'm the only person in my family tree who cannot keep plants alive. But I think people want options. They want things to do. And there's also a lot of people who struggle with food insecurity. I mean, look at the headlines right now. We have millions of people in Georgia and thousands right here in Chatham County who, as of November 1st, are going to have a really hard time putting food on the table. And if we have a space where people can grow their own food, I feel like that could solve a lot of problems. Those are life skills that kids can grow up learning from parents and grandparents. I mean, my mom had a kitchen garden when I was little, and I always thought it was really cool. My dad would just go out and pull some onions and sit and munch on them at dinner. And, we ate the cucumbers we grew and salads. It gives you some ownership over the process too. So it's something for people to do, and it meets a need that's not easily met in our HOA heavy community.
It's not easy. I'm not doing it. Josh was great at it, but I'm not doing it. I reap the benefits of his garden.
Listen, I'll go out and I will pass out cold water. I will help you, but I promise you don't want me touching your plants, because they will die.
It's complicated. They're complicated. I don't want to deal with it. I'd
Listen,
love for somebody else to do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Josh is great at it, and he's great at garden. And I think it's an awesome, thing to try to pursue. Now, let me ask you this. We had M Daddy here says, what do you think about this warehouse that's going across the street from Rice Hope?
I think that the only way that you are going to attract investment into a community is to allow people to invest in the community the best way they can. I also think that people who own property should be allowed to develop that property in ways that benefit the community. I know a lot of people look at it and see, another warehouse, more trucks. But what they don't realize is that...
I got to be honest with you, I'm not super stoked about it myself.
I mean, I don't think anybody's excited about the traffic aspect or the warehouse aspect, but the tax base and the tax money that brings into the city allows us to keep our millage rates down for our property taxes, which in turn encourages people to invest in the city. I like the fact that we have one of the lowest millage rates around. And honestly, I would love to lower that even more. I'm not a big fan of paying taxes, like I imagine most people are. The more that we get businesses to invest and developers to develop, the less our taxes are going to be, and the less we have to spend on things like traffic lights and road repairs, because part of those development agreements include things like the developers investing into the community. So while I get it, it's, we don't want any more warehouses. And honestly, from here on out, I feel like everybody has gotten that message that it's time to do some other sorts of investments. And I agree with that. I think we have a lot of warehouses, and I think that we probably don't need many more. Now, am I going to sit here and say, I promise I'll never vote positively on a warehouse? No, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Right.
But the promise I will make is that I will always vote in what I believe is in the best interests of the majority of people of Port Wentworth.
What do you think about the flood mitigation plan that we just laid out?
I think it's great. I think that anytime a developer is going to sit down with you and give you the information and walk you through the process and talk to you about beaver spas, I think that that's wonderful. You know, they were willing to take that time and walk you through the process and show you that they have done their due diligence. Now, we can't predict everything, obviously. I mean, tonight, let's, think about Jamaica. You can't predict
Oh, my
everything.
God, yeah.
That's
But
so sad.
it's horrible. I have several teachers that I work with who are from Jamaica, and you could tell today that their heads were just not, they were not in Georgia today. They were back home in their hearts, and I get it.
Right.
We can't
right.
plan for every eventuality, but we can plan for a lot of them. And I don't think that the city council, and I don't think that most of the developers get the credit that they deserve for actually putting in the effort.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that we can push them harder to do some more cool things? Absolutely. All of those roofs of warehouses, in my opinion, they ought to have solar panels on them. But I get that's an expensive investment. That's one thing I would like to push for in further developments. You have that big roof space. Why not invest that money into some solar? It would help the community. It can bring down electric rates. It can, take a burden off the grid as a whole. There are a lot of things that we can do to help the community that haven't been done yet. But that's where having an advocate in the mayor's seat comes in handy. I'm not afraid to speak out about stuff like that.
Oh,
Right. That is a great idea. All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
that's smart.
Thank you. So what else you got for me?
All right.
Brandon, you next.
So many of our viewers are first-time buyers or people relocating to
Okay.
the Savannah region. What would you say to someone considering Port Wentworth as a place to buy a home or invest in?
I would tell them to go for it. When we moved here in 2017, we moved to Port Wentworth because that's where we decided we wanted to be.
Yeah.
I know that people will criticize the city because we don't have a lot of sit-down restaurants. We don't have a lot of this or a lot of that, but we are right smack in the middle of places that have a lot of that. And I say we because I'm assuming I'm going to be part of that we. The city council and the city leadership is working really hard to recruit the kinds of restaurants and shopping experiences that people want.
Right.
The problem is that you have to create a business-friendly environment. And there are some things going on in Port Wentworth that discourage people from wanting to build here, which is honestly one of the reasons that we're getting McDonald's in front of Publix. So
McDonald's in front of Publix. Perfect.
yes.
No, I'm excited. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. It looks like the community is actually excited about Anchor Park, which I'm also excited for.
Me too.
God, I can't wait. I mean, I'm a Ghost Pirates fan, but it's not only just that. It's just that they're going to have the grill there. Dude, McDonald's is awesome. I don't eat McDonald's very often, but I mean, eat there enough. But I mean, Anchor Park is something that I'm very much looking forward to. But Megan asked here, what are your major platforms for your mayoral run?
Okay, so the first one is infrastructure. Right at the beginning of the race, there was that washed out road in Effingham County that wiped out the equestrian center. If you have not seen that story or heard that story, hit up my website, tracysaundersformayor.com. And I wrote a piece about that because it's something that could have been prevented. If you are paying attention to infrastructure as you build, then you won't have infrastructure problems until the things you build wear out. Part of the problem that we have is that we have an old downtown area that wasn't properly maintained from the time that it was built up until about 3 or 4 years ago when people actually started paying attention and started caring about trying to fix it. The problem with that is that you can't undo 70 years of bad maintenance in 2 years.
We're seeing that
unless you're a multimillionaire, and if you are, hey, let's talk.
You saw the canal, like that hasn't been maintained since 1932.
I know, and it's ridiculous. If you're going to build something, you have to take care of it. And I definitely think that in Port Wentworth, as we're moving forward, we need to be reinvesting that money into the older part of the city. Those residents deserve the same level of treatment that everybody else gets. They deserve to be able to walk through their yards after a rain and not be up to their knees in mud. And there are some people who have that problem. I have a former student who lives on Evora Street in downtown. And I went out and looked at it, and she's right. Her street holds water. And I talked to the city manager about it. I talked to I forget what his title is. Everybody knows Omar, but I talked to Omar about it. And basically her street is built like this.
And it comes together. City manager, sorry.
Her street goes like this because it wasn't built on the correct grade when the street was actually first built. Now that goes back decades. And to fix that, you got to tear the whole street out, or you have to figure out a creative way to get all that water out.
Yeah.
And I think that we owe it to those residents to take care of them as we are building up the rest of the city. So infrastructure is one. The second one is communication. There is a perception that there is a lot of secrecy that goes on at City Hall. And I think that that is much more perception than it is actuality. And I want to work to get over that perception and move toward what I believe is the actual reality, that people are transparent, but you have to be willing to reach out and ask questions and not just sit back and wait for people to hand you the information. So those are my two primary. My other one is creative use of green spaces. There's a property on Bonnie Bridge that I think would make a fantastic dog park. It's well shaded. It's a nice size. Put a fence up and maybe a couple benches, and there you go. You have a dog park. There are other places in town where we could do things like plant things that we can eat. Decorative cabbage is great. It's pretty and it's edible. And like I said before, with food insecurity, what it is, I think it's important that we think about ways that we can meet the needs of our community in ways that are going to be revenue neutral. It doesn't really cost much to throw some seeds in the ground other than some sweat equity. And,
right. And
I think people would be willing to do that. And what?
A little can-do attitude.
Exactly. And don't let me touch the plants. So, so those are my top three: infrastructure, communication, and creative use of green space.
Nice.
So.
All right, Brandon, what's your next question?
Well, the next one would be, what is your favorite hidden gem in Port Wentworth that most people don't know about?
Okay, so I have two favorite places in Port Wentworth, and I feel like people know about them, but maybe don't use them as much. I have celiac disease, which means that I can't eat anything with wheat, barley, rye, or oats in it. So
my wife
there
has Hashimoto's, so I understand that.
So you're familiar, yeah. So my restaurant choices in Port Wentworth are very limited, and I have found that the food is wonderful and the staff is amazing at Agave, which is the Mexican restaurant on Highway 21. They took such good care of me the first time that I went there that I will be a lifelong fan of that restaurant. I did not get sick. I didn't have a reaction, and I can usually tell within a couple of minutes of eating something if it's got gluten in it, and I didn't get sick. And that was awesome. So I love the way that they worked with me at the restaurant. So that's one of my favorite places. And my other favorite place is the boat dock in Old Port Wentworth, out at Houlihan. I am a water bug. I grew up boating with my grandparents during the summer, and I absolutely love to be near the water. So if I really need a space to kind of go and think or just kind of get away from things, I will go out there and just park my car and sit and look at the water.
15 minutes a day looking at water can do wonders for your mind.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
Yes.
Just saying.
I love that. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with agave. It's very close to obviously rice hope. So I did want to bring this question up. Hello, y'all. Moved from Savannah. And she basically, she's saying that Port Wentworth is a drive-through town. It's much different than Savannah, obviously, which I think we agree. But, she had a medical incident, and it took the ambulance 45 minutes to get her son to the hospital when there was an emergency.
Wow.
What would you do? I mean, is there any? How about that? How about to ask this? Is there any
Okay.
thoughts of infrastructure like high school or like hospital or something like that? Because I feel like we're basically in Effingham County. So we're far.
Pretty close.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
It
From
is.
everything.
It is a long drive.
And so, is there any thought to that kind of infrastructure,
Josh,
like
what-
a
So
hospital
there
or a
is.
high school or something like that?
So the high school issue is very different from the hospital issue because to get a high school, we have to convince the Chatham County Board of Education, the SCCPSS, to get a high school. And I know that that has been in discussion and been part of the long-term plan of the city for a while, especially with as big as Rice Creek is and how many kids are there.
And
But again,
Rifle.
it's one of those, yeah. And I'm talking, when I say Rice Creek, I mean Rice Creek School, not just the neighborhood.
Gotcha, I understand. Yeah.
Sorry about that. But the thing is in order to get a high school, we have to, just like any other development project, there you have so many hoops you have to jump through and so much data and so many numbers that you have to meet. But that is part of a long-term conversation that's been going on and will continue. As far as a hospital is concerned, I don't know enough about the issue to truly speak confidently on it, but I can say that with Memorial being a level 1 trauma center and the only one in the region, I'm not sure that you can top the level of care that you would get there in a small community hospital. I know it takes a long time to get from Port Wentworth to Memorial. I had to personally experience that on the very first day of my campaign. So been there, done that, have the stitches in my leg to prove it. And I know for me, the people that responded when I called 911 were fantastic. And I felt like I was in really good hands.
I would say local, like, 'cause I would tell you, I have a family that has a lot of medical issues.
Mhm.
The response is always great. The fire department and the police department
Mhm.
are always there quickly. You know what I'm saying? But that does
Mhm.
not negate the fact that they
Oh,
have
no,
to
it
drive
absolutely doesn't.
30 minutes to get to Memorial and if traffic's bad, I can't,
Hmm.
traffic
Oh,
can be
yeah.
horrible and it could make it really bad. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
I'm not
absolutely.
saying that you can solve this problem. I'm asking you, is there any thought to that?
Oh, there has been discussion about trying to get a medical center out this direction. But again, I don't know that we have the population, excuse me, I don't know that we have the population to support an actual hospital. Now, I know that there is recruiting efforts to get some medical care, some doctor's offices and more urgent care facilities in Port Wentworth. I know that's part of the ongoing recruitment efforts of the city. There is an urgent care over there by the Port Fuel Center. And, again, in Rincon, they have a small hospital. But like I said, I don't know enough about the numbers, but I can do some research and check back with you.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
great. I don't expect you to know everything. You're a candidate.
Well, that's
You're
good.
not the mayor, right? Not
Well,
yet,
honestly,
right?
listen, assuming I win the election, which, fingers crossed, hand to God, all that fun stuff. If I don't know something, I'm going to say, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Exactly.
Like I said, I don't know what the numbers are that it would take to support a hospital. I just know that.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
She just knows that things need to change. I
Yeah.
finished the sentence. I think that's what she was going to say.
Oh no, Tracy. Oh, such a great conversation. Oh no.
She's
Here we
back.
go. We're back.
Are we
Okay,
back?
here we go.
Got her.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
Got
lost you there for
Got
a
her.
second.
Okay. I have no idea if you could hear what I just said or not, but
We missed a lot of it, but what I feel like is that you're going to get us the answers if you have the ability, and
Yes.
you don't know the populations, you don't know all those things, and I totally respect that. You can't know everything
Right.
about what's
No.
going on. So, Brandon, you had another question, buddy?
So what would you like our viewers to remember about you and your campaign going forward from here to where when they go to the ballots, they're like, love her, check, check, check.
Wow. I think the first thing is that I am running for the office of mayor. I'm not running specifically against one of the other candidates or the other candidate. This has been the longest job interview of my life. And I'm going through it because I want the job. And I truly believe that I can do the job. I also want people to remember that, like y'all, I live in Port Wentworth. So anything that I do or say or advocate for is going to have just as much an effect, if not more so, on me and mine than it will on anybody else. Because any decision that I make is going to blow back on me and my family. Any advocacy that I take up is going to blow back on me and my family. So why would I advocate for something that's not in the best interest of the city? Because I'm going to feel the same effects you are.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like I said, I genuinely want this job and I think I can do it. And I would love the chance to prove it.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate your time, Tracy, and I know that we met on we met before Saturday, but we really got to have a conversation on Saturday, and I appreciate you asking to come on, and I really actually just appreciate you being candid here on how you were going to proceed as a mayor for our community. We don't sponsor any candidates, so I'm not trying to, obviously I wish you luck because you're here, but we don't sponsor any candidates here. Yeah, of course. But I appreciate you coming on, and I would say that if there's any other mayoral candidates or any other candidates of any kind of sorts that want to come talk on our show, please come on. You heard what Tracy had to say. We got how many days left, Tracy?
7.
Are you ready for it to be over?
Yes.
It's almost there. It's almost there.
Very much, yes. And I have 3 teenagers at home, and I know that they are tired of cooking dinner because I'm out doing stuff like this. I have plans for November 5th that involve not leaving my bedroom. So, yeah.
Well, M Daddy wants you to make beavers your logo.
Say again?
That's what M Daddy wants beavers to be your logo.
Only if they have horns like Brandon has with that picture behind him.
Oh, that is, of course. Yeah.
Someone noticed. Someone noticed. Thank you.
Yeah, you have horns.
No?
Yes.
No, but
we could try. If you're a graphic designer, show me what you got.
Yeah. I like
Well, Tracy, let me tell you something. I appreciate you coming on here, and I'll tell you, as a candidate, you put yourself out there. That's more than I can say a lot about people. But as a teacher, I respect teachers because if you teach our children, you have to deal with all that kind of stuff. And it's been 27 years of doing so. Like, I can't thank you enough for your service. I was a military guy. Everybody's thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for your service.
Teachers, nurses, and doctors, and all the police officers and firefighters, you guys are the heroes in America. And I will tell you, thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for accepting my request. I was surprised, honestly, but I do appreciate it.
We're here. We're here to spread the word. We're here to get the voice out. So if you want a platform, we're here for you. Anybody who wants to. That's why we're here. Get it out.
All right.
Fair.
And thank you so much for coming. And if you have if you guys want to get a hold of Tracy, let me put her stuff back on the screen here real quick.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, and really, ask me anything. If you have questions about something going on in the city or you have an issue with something, I've already worked with some people on some drainage stuff and some bureaucracy stuff. So please reach out. You can tell I like to talk. So, I have no problem talking with total strangers. So just tell me how I can help.
I like to talk to Tracy. That's most of it.
Well, maybe next time we'll let you take the microphone away from him.
Can't help himself.
Well, Tracy, thank you so much again. And I really appreciate you coming. And I wish you luck. And we'll see what happens next week.
Yes, we will. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, good luck.
Good luck.
And by the way, thank you all for watching. So if
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
love what we're doing, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you guys for
Yes.
watching. I appreciate
And
it.
if
I'll
you
talk to
don't
you guys
like
later.
it, share it anyways and like it anyways.